Now to senior defense officials telling NBC News 4 long-range cruise missiles launched off Russian warships landed in Iran, well short of their Syrian targets. The officials say the missiles landed in a rural area inside Iran, and there were apparently no casualties. On Wednesday, Russia launched 26 missiles from the Caspian Sea at targets near Aleppo, Syria. These new cruise missiles have a range of over 900 miles. This is the first time the Russians have ever used that type of missile other than training exercises. And this news comes as Syrian troops backed by Russian airstrikes launched a new wide-range ground offensive on forces fighting to remove President Assad today. Let's turn to NBC News Chief Pentagon correspondent Jim Miklaszewski. Jim, bring us up to speed.
Well, as you said, these 4 cruise missiles apparently malfunctioned after being launched from Russian warships in the Caspian Sea. And instead of making their way from the Caspian Sea all the way to Syria, they crash landed in Iran. Now, according to U.S. officials, there appear to have been no casualties on the ground. But what is most disconcerting to U.S. officials is that the Russians launched those missiles, some 26 to 30 of them, across Iran and through Iraqi and then Syrian airspace, where U.S. and coalition aircraft are conducting those combat air operations every day. And they did it without informing the U.S. or any coalition forces, including Iraq, in advance. So that's disconcerting. Also on their radar is the fact that some of those 3,000 Russian troops on the ground continue to move further east out of the western part of Syria, and they're taking with them rocket launchers, artillery, and advanced equipment in an effort, apparently, to attack the moderate rebels that are opposed to the Assad regime. There is really no evidence. Now, some of those airstrikes around Aleppo could have hit some ISIS targets. That's a possibility. But so far, no indication that the Russians are really focusing on ISIS. Now, officials here also point out that since 4 of those cruise missiles malfunction, that those missile systems are not as developed as they probably should be, and that there are few of the cruise missiles left, actually, to conduct any more assaults. All that's well and good, but quite frankly, the Russians continue to operate freely without impunity from the land, air, and now the sea, Kate.
All right, Jim Miklaszewski at the Pentagon, thank you.
You bet.
Spencer Stone.